I've seen people make musical instruments out of Altoids tins and thought that might be a neat little experiment as I'm learning to work on stuff. So I grabbed a random piece of hardwood that I have in here. I'm really repurposing it. It's not going to be to scale or anything. My idea on this is just grab my tin snips and put that in there, snip off this front end, be able to close the lid, turn it that way, and then string up 2 strings. Nothing big, just 2 strings. There's not a lot of space here, and just kind of see what that sounds like. 15 inches long by just under 1.5 inches wide and 3/4 of an inch thick. It's going to go into the Altoids tin. Altoids tin will cover it and hopefully come out like that. Not like that, I won't. Alright, learning curve. Instead of using the back one, I'm using the front clip. So this side to gauge where I'm gonna cut my line straighter, but not 100%. Good. I have a sheet of 100 grit sandpaper. I'm going to take this outside, mostly because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to clean up afterwards. I'm all done with that. I've decided to go with 3 tuning heads. So I'm going to make it more like cigar box guitar style. And since I don't have a template, I'm going to lay these in the approximate place, like so, and use an awl or a sharp point and put points where the screws will go and put points where these rods of the tuners will go. I chose these for 2 reasons. One, because of their shape, and because this rod and such is removable just by taking out that screw. And then I wind up with this, which I can lay flat on the back like I've done here. And then use a little point to make my marks. So if I can get this to stand up right here. So I'm just going to eyeball the first one in place and put a little dot in the center and another little dot in the center. And if you can see it, that right there. That'll be where I put the screw holes for this. Here's a neat little trick if you're trying to figure out what size drill bit to use, especially if you have one of these nice old style as they kick up. Grab yourself, a few of them and pull them out, lay them down in order, and then start measuring what size. You can actually stick this in the hole. If it slides through the hole, teeth and all, then that one's too big. And work your way down to one that, oh, that's the one there, that you can't slide the teeth through. And then that should be the right size. And according to this, I'll be using a number 55, which is a 0.052 inch. Itty bitty. I do not want this to go all the way through, so I've set my drill in very, very deep because I don't want the drill holes on this side. I really only want it to go down about half the size of the shank that's currently exposed. So I'm going to eyeball this and hold it as straight as possible. And I don't need it to go real fast either. There we go. Now I should be able to set that in place and run the screws in. The reason I'm doing this way is because I want to get this one in place before I measure where this one and the next one go. I don't have overlap by accident. I don't have, and it's why I'm also drilling the smaller holes, is because those will be a lot easier to clean up if I make a mess. Now I'm going to grab another little drill bit and just take off the rough edges there. Don't have to worry about it too much because they're going to be covered with that.
It goes in quite nicely.
And there we go. That's that first one in place. I can take these others and set them there as well. All right, starting to look a little more like an instrument. Low string, middle string, high string. 1/4 inch it is. All right, I'm going to grab this part that I had from another project and set it up so I can set this on top and not drill a hole into my tabletop. And hopefully make this a very straight hole. Good. That'll sit right through. All right. I've got all the holes drilled. I'm going to clean up the edges with a larger drill bit. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, I've put these back in. I'll unscrew these from there, put them in this way, And they should line right up. If they don't, I know I'll need to make some adjustments. And that's how it looks. So now I know that I do want to take it down a ways, because I want about that much of the head up. Okay, time to disassemble it again. I've taken off the hardware, and I'm going to put a little bit of marking on this side. You want to mark the side that you're gonna cut on. You don't want to find out that you cut the wrong side because you set it down wrong. I'm gonna take about 1/4 inch off. Marks like that. And I have an idea how I'm going to do this. Let's go take a look at it. Since I don't have a table saw right now, I have set up a guide on here. I've measured it 3 3/4 of an inch. That'll ensure that I can't take off any more going that way too far in. I've used my square to ensure it's 3 3/4 of an inch here, 3 3/4 of an inch there, and I've adjusted the height of my saw. I'm going to adjust it a little more to ensure I take off about 1/4 of an inch. And since I have those little marks there, I'll be able to know if I'm taking off enough. I'm going to definitely err on the side of too little so that I don't go too deep, because I'm going to have to make sure that I put a cut all the way across on an even cut, and then sand it and clean it up. That's why. Okay, I'm going to make a cut in just gently. Okay, so that's not far enough down. Okay, I'm going to call that the right level. Correct. I'm gonna make the farthest in cut right now. I'm gonna be very gently, very quiet, slowly.